Sentences like come in or sit down, they belong to the category of an imperative sentence, and here the subject is implied. Hello my dear YouTube family, myself Rahul Singh, and I would like to welcome you all to my YouTube channel Lore of English. This is the third part, or you can say the third video of the Subject and Predicate series. In the previous two videos, we learned what subject and predicates were and their different types. And in this video, we'll try to learn about the position or the placement of subject in different types of sentences, namely assertive, interrogative, imperative, and exclamatory. But of course, before that, we'll know the answers or the brain gym of the previous video. If you haven't watched that video, don't worry. I'm going to provide you the link of that video in the description box below. So I hope all your answers were absolutely correct. Now coming to today's topic. Before jumping into today's topic, we'll try to have a quick recap of the previous topic through a game. In this game, we'll try to identify the different subject and predicate in different types of sentences. And of course, we'll have 10 seconds for every question. So without any further go, let's start the game now. Let's have a loud clap for those who got 5 out of 5. Now, after this fun game, let's jump into our topic where we'll try to understand the placement of subject in different types of sentences. Now, what happens? In most cases, the subject in any sentence comes or placed at the beginning, but in some sentences, it can also be placed at the middle of the sentence or at the end. Now we'll see the placement of subject in different types of sentences with the help of some examples as well. Talking about assertive sentences first. In an assertive sentence, the subject is placed at the beginning of the sentence. To understand more about this concept, we'll see the following example. In my first example, I have written, children are fond of asking questions. In my second example, I have written, the car is red. In the third example, I have written, the blue elephant is looking at you. Now, all the sentences which you saw, they all belong to the category of assertive or declarative sentences. And in all the sentences, the subject were placed at the beginning of the sentence. So I hope you all understood how you can identify a subject in an assertive type of sentence. So now let's move to interrogative sentence. Talking about interrogative sentences, in an interrogative type of sentence, the subject is placed just after the verb. To understand this concept properly, we'll see the following examples. In my first example, I have written, do you love cycling? In my second example, I have written, what is the kid writing? Both the sentences which you saw just now, they were belonging to the category of interrogative sentences. And with the help of these two examples, I hope I made it clear the placement of subject in an interrogative type of sentence. Here in interrogative sentence, I would like to give you a special note saying sometimes relative pronouns can be used as subjects as well. To explain this particular concept, we'll use two different examples. In my first example, I have written who has broken the vase, and here who becomes the subject. And in my second example, I have written which is the tallest building, here which becomes the subject. Now we'll talk about placement of subject in an exclamatory or an optative sentence. In an exclamatory or an optative sentence, the subject is placed before the verb. Again, to understand this particular concept, we'll see the following examples. In my first example, I have written, what a kind lady my granny is. In the second example, I have written, how beautiful the scenery is. The previous two examples were an example of an exclamatory sentence. Now the sentence which you can see now is an example of an optative sentence. And with the help of these three examples, I hope you all understood the placement of subject in an exclamatory or an optative sentence. Last but not the least, talking about imperative sentence. In an imperative type of sentence, the subject is implied. Sentences like come in or sit down, they belong to the category of an imperative sentence, and here the subject is implied. To understand more, I have used two more examples where I have written hurry up and turn off cell phones. So I hope I was successful in making you understand the concept of placement of subject in different types of sentences. Lastly, I would like to summarize the whole video by giving you a trick so that you can remember the concept more easily. For this particular trick, I'll use one single picture through which I'll try to explain you the whole concept in a much easier way. For this picture, I can say the boy is watering the plant. As we all know, this sentence is an assertive sentence, and here the subject comes before the verb. For the same picture, I can say, is the boy watering the plant, which is an interrogative sentence, and here the subject comes after the verb. Again, for the same picture, I have written water the plants. This sentence is a command belonging to the category of imperative sentence, and here the subject is implied. And lastly, for the same picture, we can again say, wow, what a nice plant it is, which of course is an example of an exclamatory sentence. And the subject here is it, which comes before the verb. And with this, we come to an end of today's topic. If you are liking the concept of my channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the content with your near and dear ones. Finally, leaving you with the brain gym and of course the bonus content for today. Hope to see you in the next video. Till then, be safe and be happy. Thank you.